can learn an awful lot by analysing closely the work of other artists, and that's why I thought we'd start the term in this way. I think what's particularly interesting about Clay's work is the beautiful colour mixtures apart from anything else, but the sort of essential quality of his work, you know, that he's actually exploring the essence of what he's observing. It's linked in some way with the physical world, but it goes beyond the physical. He was very, very interested and inspired by music, and a lot of the early work is a reflection of music that he'd listened to, and it sort of comes through in the work itself. I mean, he was particularly fond of Mozart and Bach, and he wasn't like many of the other artists of that period, which is sort of in the early part of the 20th century. He wasn't as sort of intrigued with more radical breaking away of music, which was happening with people like Schoenberg, etc., etc. He hadn't got any time for that. He really, I think, appreciated and valued what Mozart and Bach had in their music. And similarly, in his earlier travels, he did actually go to Italy, and he was fascinated not so much by the painting, the Italian Renaissance painting, but by the classical architecture and the sort of canon that underlies it all, which is one of harmony and balance. And I think that again comes through in his work. Anyway, I started off with this line here that ran up the left-hand side of the painting, and I measured that strip as well. I made it 2 centimeters, or you can 1 3/4 centimeters. I think 1 3/4 centimeters is quite big enough. So if you get your ruler and line it up with your rectangle and strike off a little mark that's 1 3/4 centimeters along.
Whereabouts on the paint on the square though?
On the bottom left-hand corner. Can you not see? I'm sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, so the first mark I've done is this one here. It's 1 3/4 centimeters. I'm going to work in centimeters. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, something that my husband's taught me, and I sometimes use, rather than using my ruler, I've got a strip of white paper here, and I'm going to mark off the edge of the rectangle as a mark, and the mark for the 1 3/4 centimeters. So that's 1 3/4 there. And I may come back and use this little thing again. It saves me having to use my ruler all the time. I'm going to move it up to the top edge here, top side, and mark off the exact same measurement. Yes, can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, and then I'm going to obviously use my ruler and join those 2 lines up. Now, it doesn't go right to the very top. It stops below the top, but so when you get to that end, just stop a little way before the end, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Right, okay. Then I'm going to do this one next, this next line here that goes up to along the left-hand side of the white box. Yeah. Now I made this 5.5 centimeters. So the next measurement along from the bottom here.
Is it from the corner or from the line?
No, from the line you've just drawn.
Okay.
5.5 centimeters.
Just that we engineers, we reference.
I'll write this along the bottom. 5.5 1 3/4, so that's 175, but never mind. 5.5 centimeters to the from that line to the next one. Okay. And again, I'm going to use my piece of paper. I'm going to line up the mark, this mark, and then I'm going to strike off the other one. That's 5.5. Okay.
Yep.
And then I'm moving it up to the top, and I'm going to make another pencil line here. So instead of using my ruler, I'm using this as my ruler. Okay. So I've now got 2 lines here, which I will join up with my ruler.
So the top one's 5.5.
The space between the first one and the second one is 5.5.
But it doesn't go up quite that high, does it?
No, it doesn't. You don't need to take it to the top. Just take it about, take it as
Yep.
far as you can observe it going, which is about,
Yep.
well, it's a little bit low, below the other one. Okay, you ready for the
Yeah.
next one?
Yes.
The next space is 7.5 away from that line. So it's 7.5 centimeters away from the last line. So again, mark off the 7.5 or 7.5 centimeters and do it on your strip of paper as well.
Hmm.
7.
Okay,
No, wait.
okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have marked off on my strip of paper 7.5 centimeters away from the last line. And again, I'm going to move it up here to the top end of the paper and mark off another little mark there. So that represents my 7.5. And I will join those up. And again, don't take it right to the top.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
So this one is 7.5. This one is 5.5, and this one is 1 3/4. That's it.
Oh God, I did it on the wrong side. I did it on the short side.
Oh dear, no. Well, yes, we are dividing up the short side, yes.
Well, I've only got 3.5 at the end in that case.
Well, that's the last bit, the very last column, this last one here when I did it earlier on, I made it 4.5, but what I've got left on this board is only about 5.25. So I don't need to rule any more lines for that last band. That's fine as it is. So we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4 divisions along the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now I think the next line we're going to do is this line across here, this horizontal. Okay,
Yeah.
and what should I do with that one? Hold on. Yeah, it's about 3.5 centimeters. Okay, 3.5. So I'm going to just turn your ruler so that it's along the tall, the longer side, and strike off 3.5 there. You see that? 3.5 from the corner. And then again, I would just turn your paper over. So this you can say is your horizontal measurements. And the ones I'm going to do along here will be the vertical ones. So I'm turning it upside down. Okay. And I'm going to basically mark off along here. Let's do it like this. That measurement there represents 3.5 from that mark there to this mark here. Can you all see that?
So it's from the bottom, it's the first one up.
Yes. And then I'm just moving that across to the other corner. And again, I'll mark off where 3.5 comes, which is there.
What? I can't see.
So that's 3.5 and that's 3.5.
Oh, there. Right.
And then get your ruler, and you're now doing a horizontal line. And again, don't take it right to the end because the line stops before it gets to the other side. So just take it as far as you think it approximately needs to go at the moment. We will have to adjust this in a second. Okay, so we've got that line next. I'm going to do it a bit heavier so you can see. I'm doing my lines relatively dark, but I'm using a B grade pencil. And I'm trying not to press.